Welcome to Shut Up and Bet with Your Highness, the podcast that gives fewer fucks than your bookie gives refunds. Your Highness is the king of the Kush, the baron of blunts, the Caesar of sativa, but really, he's just always higher than Camelback Mountain, hotter than a Scottsdale divorcee, and the sharpest prick I've met since I ran into a saguaro cactus. This ain't for the soft, you pussy. Your Highness's dog doesn't just cover, he bites. Now shut up, log into your account, and let's run this shit up.
Episode starts now.
Welcome back, you degenerates, misfits, and future yacht owners. This is Shut Up and Bet with Your Highness. I'm the hostess with the mostest, baby. I'm the king of the cashin', the prince of the parlays. Now, fuck those parlays, man. I'm the baron of the blunts. And by the way, can we talk about ESPN Plus for a second? Is it every goddamn fucking time I try to watch this thing, it like logs me out. There's an error, play back the video, blah, 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 blah. I fucking had a fucking no-lube hand job from a homeless guy that felt better than that. Jesus Christ. Anyways, if you're new to the show, I'm Your Highness, and we're here to offend. We're here to make you some money. It's to get the people going. All right, today is going to be all about the No Fun League, the NFL. Today we're going to look ahead. We're going to look way ahead because it's NFL futures times, baby. We're going to be talking division winners, a couple of those I like. Talking some team totals wins. Maybe who's going to be the MVP, who's going to be the coach of the year. And yes, I will give you some spots to fade. Fade the public, fade the squares. And if they're talking about it on ESPN, fade that shit too. Because I still think ESPN owes us some child support. Because we've been fucking their sports book, huh? Dropped a couple loads in that bitch. Still ain't called her back. All right. Teddy ball games on the ones and twos. TC, the big T, the big C, the teddy bear. All the way from Blaine, Minnesota. Actually, I don't know. What part of Minnesota are you from, Teddy? General, don't need the exact town. Southeast part of the state? Okay, so you're closer to civilization than most there in Minnesota. All right. The Mississippi River, I forget it goes up that high. Let's talk about getting high. Smoke it if you got it, and I got enough for the both of us. Let's get into section number one, segment number one, and we're going to talk about division winners. Teddy, start pulling stuff up for the peoples. All right, so division winners, I think on futures bets, this is the best spot to go over winning Super Bowls, winning all blah, blah, blah. Let's focus on the division. So, what's great also about futures and picking divisions is about 12, 14 weeks into the year, we can start hedging against and seeing where we lay. And we're not just throwing darts, we're planting seeds. That's the other thing. So this is like a fucking the fruit of the loam, not the underwear, like the tree. Not the tree, but you know what I'm saying. Whatever, stick with me, you'll be all right. We're planting the groundwork now in July 1st. So that come January 1st, we got a couple red-blooded bitches. We're ready to fuck. You know what I'm saying? All right. Ted, I still don't see anything on my screen yet. Let's jump into the AFC South. Now, if you listen to the radio show, there you go. Thank you, buddy. If you listen to the radio show or if you listen to some other podcast, you're already going to probably know about this one, but I'm going to repeat it for the people in the back. The Houston Texans to win the AFC South. Currently on DraftKings. Ted, you're going to have to read this for me because I can't see shit. I think it says 115 there. Just nod your head if that's correct. He's nodding his head. All right, they got CJ Stroud. Now, if you don't know by now, I'm the biggest Michigan fan. You know. But I put that aside. In the way to do that, to forgo my hatred. That's a strong word. My hatred. That's a strong word. My fucking hatred for Ohio State is you got to make money off him. If you can make money off your enemy, he's really not much of an enemy then. So CJ Stroud, I talk shit. I shit on him. If I had this podcast going back then when he was in the draft, I would have shit on him. And guess what? I'm eating that shit right now. And it's a little nutty. Did you have a payday for lunch? CJ Stroud's the dude. He's the man down in Houston. And it just, he fit his persona and personality, I think, fits in well with Houston as well. He's not too over the top, but he is vibrant. And what I mean by that is think of some of the famous people who come out of Houston, right? Mattress Mac, Paul Wall. I'm probably there's some what's that large guy? Isn't that big fat black guy, the rapper, the largest, the Plug X or something? I think he's from Houston too. Anyway, my point is, Houston people, they're loud, they're colorful, but they're not too over the top. So Mattress Mac, prime example, right? He's showy, but he's not flamboyant. He's not rolling up with all the fucking, bells and whistles and attention. That's kind of the vibe there in Houston. And if Baba Ganoush is listening, confirm with me if I'm right or wrong. He lives there. He owns like 12 or 13 and a half truck stop, gas station, dispensaries. Nothing's legal. We'll keep it above board. All right, so the Houston Texans, I think, are a top 10 offense. I don't even know if that is debatable. CJ Stroud, I think, is a Pro Bowl type quarterback. He's throwing to the Michigan man, Nico Collins. Nico Collins and CJ Stroud, I think, if they can keep the band together, is the second coming of Peyton and Marvin Harrison, the senior. And I don't necessarily mean by the skill set, because Nico Collins is a way faster, more athletic wide receiver than Marvin Harrison, the senior. And fucking Peyton Manning. Whew. Peyton Manning and CJ Stroud are two different quarterbacks. So that's not what I mean. I mean that chemistry, that connection. Records could be broken. And I think they still got Joe Mixon there, right? Joe Mixon is he still in Houston there at Teddy Ball game? He doesn't know. Okay, moving on. By the way, who they got to face? The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Colts, and the Tennessee Titans. That's who they're playing against. A Mayo commercial guy, right? The guy that's on the mayonnaise commercial. That's who I'm worried about. Or I'm worried about the fraudulent Heisman Trophy winner. Or I'm worried about an AR-15 that doesn't shoot. Hey, he quits in the middle of games. Ugh. Who am I afraid of in the South? Nobody. Ted, without saying anything, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. They should run away with the South. He says, yeah, that's easy money. Now, again, with injuries and shit, that's why they call it gambling. All right. Let's move it to the other South. Heading south down past her Mason-Dixie line. If it gets a little humid, you know you met the right place. We're going to Atlanta. Get out the Dirty Birds. Ted, I don't know if they can see me doing it right now, but I'm going full Jamal Anderson. Full fucking Jamal Anderson. Bum, 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 bum. By the way, some, and those of the younger year, may not realize Jamal Anderson wasn't even the most important Anderson on that team. He's shaking his head. You know what Anderson I'm talking about? I think it's Morton Anderson, right? The lefty kicker that was about 56 when they beat the Minnesota Vikings. You should know this, Ted. This is your team, the Minnesota Vikings. Teddy, how old are you with fingers? You're 30-something? 37 years old. He was alive. He knew about the Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Rod Smith, right? You know those purple people eaters. You know those teams. Gary Anderson. Ooh, that hurts. But Morton Anderson, right? Morton Anderson was the kicker for the Falcons. And he made the field goal. Right? 48 yards in overtime. I'm doing this all off memory. I don't know. I could be completely way off. This is just my childhood memories rushing back to me. Just like the kid that shoved me in the locker. It hurts still. It hurts. By the way, I was a very big bandwagon Minnesota Vikings fan in the late 90s. Why? Because I fucking hated all the teams I grew up around. My uncle was a diehard Lions fan and shit on his teams. Huh? And so there was nothing more exciting than watching the Minnesota Vikings beat up on the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions sucked. I mean, this was post Barry Sanders. All right, so heading down south past her Mason-Dixie line, looking for some of that humidity. We're in that hot Atlanta, baby. I'll let the people catch up with the jokes. Plus 250 to win the division. Is that what it says on the screen, Teddy B? Teddy. All right, so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was the returning, the team that won it last year, right? Yep. Baker Mayfield, Mr. Progressive Insurance. By the way, if you're looking for an Airbnb in Cleveland, I think the stadium is still on the market. I think it was a little fluky last year with Tampa Bay. They won how many close games, Ted? Do you remember? Do me a favor. You search for this. Find out how many games Tampa Bay, and you don't have to put it on the screen. You can just tell me in my ear. How many games did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win last year by less than 7 points? How about this? Less than 6 points. Less than a touchdown. Look that up for me. While you do that, I'm going to keep talking. Now, the West, since some say the West Coast is the best coast, it would be if we cut off the Southern California region. But fade the Northern California region. San Francisco. I'm not buying them. I ain't buying that shit. I ain't buying that. It's not my screen there, Teddy. But I believe the San Francisco 49ers are the odds-on favorite to win the West last I do remember. And we want the other California team, and that is the Rams. The Los Angeles Rams. I am a believer in Sean McVay. I am a believer that defense will be competitive. I'm still not sold on Purdy. Is that a long statement? Is that going to get some people enraged with me? I know we got some fucking butt miners in there, the 49ers. They're in their boyfriend's cavity looking for some gold. Huh? You know what I'm talking about. 49er. Anal. Gay sex. Bam! My point is, Purdy, local kid here in Arizona, liked the kid and everything. Went to Iowa State, played for Matt Campbell, the old coach at Toledo. My point is, I followed this kid since college, and I like this kid. He's not the guy. He's not. I would take C.J. Stroud over Brock Purdy every fucking time, and that's not a far statement. I don't think many people are going to be shocked by that. Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, while they're not the same skill set, I lump them together. They are adequate NFL quarterbacks, and they become good NFL quarterbacks when they have the skill set and the talent around them. Stop Brock Purdy for 1 second. Let's talk Goff. Goff was in L.A., right, Teddy? Yes, he was, of course. Shake his head. When he was putting up them fucking numbers, how many fucking weapons they had in L.A.? Everybody, right? They had so many fucking weapons out there. I can't even name them all. They had all their fucking, right? Gets traded to Detroit. The Bulldog comes into L.A. They win the Super Bowl. Goff goes to Detroit. And they had a couple, same Brown, right? They got the fucking tight end. I'm forgetting his name, the white kid. What's the white kid's name, Teddy? You know what I'm talking about, the white kid. I fucking like the kid. Good. Laporta Potty. Sam Laporta out of Iowa just gave to me. Ted, you were supposed to help me here. He didn't feed that to me. He should have. He should have been feeding that to me. But here's the deal. They got some fucking weapons in Detroit now. And Goff's looking good. They's looking good. I mean, Detroit hasn't looked as good since, what they got that David Montgomery kid still on the team, Teddy. They haven't looked as good since Montgomery Ward's was in business. was a long time ago. Did you remember Montgomery Ward's? He has no clue. Look, if you're over 40, you know what Montgomery Ward's is. It was a good joke. If you're on, otherwise you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I sound like an idiot. All right. So the recap, I feel like whatever I asked you to pull up, Ted, you still haven't pulled it up. What we like is we like the Houston Texans in the first. Oh, I know what I want. The Tampa Bay. Did you look up that data for me? The Tampa Bay. If you put in the chat, I'm not looking at the chat, buddy. Just tell me in my ear. Tampa Bay. How many games did Tampa Bay Buccaneers win by less than 6 points? You just punch in your phone, Ted. Ask ChatGPT. 2. They won 2 games by less than 6 points. That wasn't what I thought it was going to be. All right. I still don't like Tampa. I like Falcons. I like Texans. And I like the Rams. I don't love the Rams. I just hate the 49ers. Your other options, I guess, could be, Seattle? What was my other options in there? And I don't think Seattle's going to do shit. Arizona. I think I like that. Put it up on just this bet slip on the screen, nice and big for the peoples. Can you do that for them? Where it's just the bet slip or no? No, don't worry about it. It's on the screen. They can see it. I just thought maybe make it, big and large. Okay. So that is going to be what we're going to start with on the divisions, okay? Now, I think for the rest of July, I don't know what. Maybe we keep doing the NFL for July. August, at some point, we're going full fucking blown college football. I mean, we might spend fucking 5 or 6 weeks steady on college football. I love college football. If you told me you could only watch one sport, fuck the betting part, just watching. If you could only watch one sport the rest of your life, I wouldn't even pause. I wouldn't even hesitate. College football would be numero uno. En dos, en tres, en cuatro, en cinco, seis. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4. Boom. By the way, tequila makes her clothes off, but it also makes me do crazy shit, so it doesn't work out. All right, segment number 2. We're going to talk regular season wins. The Green Bay Fudge Packers. Can you pull that up on the screen? I want to say the line's 9.5 last I looked. Wins, total season wins. Jordan, love you now, love you later. I like him. Not at first. I like him better now. He's got an arm on him. Hopefully the decision-making gets better. I think they have a lot of young talent in the wide receiver room. What's the line there at 8.5, Teddy? I can't read it. Minus what? Well, we're going to shop these lines because you can find these better, but over 9.5, I think getting to 10 wins. And have I figured out yet how many games they playing this year? They playing 18, 19, 20. How many games they playing, Teddy? 18 weeks, 17. You sure? I thought they were. What they used to play? 16. Now go 17. We'll be at 8. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be at 18 soon. There won't be a preseason. It's just they're going. It's going to be. It's going to be college football. It's so weird because college football keeps taking all the fucking NFL bullshit. Now the NFL is going to be moving to where, like college football, that's why they put all the cupcakes up front. That's their preseason. They count as real games. You can't really do that in the NFL, but that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You might see week 1 or week 2 if they go to 18 weeks and starters aren't playing the full game week 1. Right? Gassed. Especially also what happens in late August, early September in a lot of places in the country. It's humid. It's hot. These guys are fucking gassed. Look at them in Canton, Ohio. When does that game start? Here in a couple of weeks, right? They're going to be playing in Canton, Ohio. Hall of Fame game. Nobody that you know will be playing. It'll all just be guys that are trying to make a roster. But look, even in Canton, Ohio in fucking August, that ain't no treat, folks. It's muggy. It's hot. You got all the fucking pads and shit on. No, thank you. All right, so let's pull up the Green Bay Packers schedule. he wasn't prepared for this, I don't think. But I think it's pretty soft. And I do like, and I can't think of the guy's fucking name, the coach in Green Bay. I think he's a good coach. I still think he needs he needs some more time, a little more repetition under his belt. But he reminds me of what is that, the guy from Dodgeball, LeFleur, right? Wasn't that from Dodgeball? I like to make a lot of references. Why I stall for Ted to get his shit together, Ted. Come on, baby. Rapido, rapido. Andale, mama. That's the schedule right there I'm looking at. All right, he's nodding his head for you. I'm telling you, Ted, we got to get you a speaking role because otherwise they think I should belong in a insane asylum talking to myself here. So I can't really see it too well, but I don't want you to blow it up because I want it to be visible for the people who's at home. But it looks like, is that regular season Detroit is week 1, September 7th. By the way, who are they playing the week of October 4th? They're on bye? No, that's only relevant because that's when our meetup event's going to be, Ted, October 4th. Jot that down in your calendar. All right, so Detroit, probably, let's say it's a loss. Washington, they probably lose late because that's what Washington likes to do. Cleveland, they beat the shit out of Cleveland. They can beat Dallas. Let's say they start the season off 2-2. Cincinnati, I like this year. Arizona, I don't. Pittsburgh, I don't. Carolina, I don't. Let's say they go 3-1 in that stretch, Teddy. They're now 5-3. So far, so good. Philly, they lose 2. They should beat the Giants, lose to the Minnesota, lose to Detroit, beat Chicago. So that's another, 4 games to play. So another, say 2-3 on that stretch. So they're now 7-7. Is that what I got them here after 7-6 after the Chicago? Move your head out of the way here. Move the fucking screen, Teddy. Move it down for me. Just scroll down. Thank you. All right. So there it was. Okay. So Denver, Chicago, Baltimore, and Minnesota is the last 4. And you said going in that they're 7-6, and we need them to get to 10. So they're gonna have to go 3-1 in those last 4 weeks. They're gonna beat Chicago in there. So that puts them at 8-6. Denver's up and coming. Baltimore, but it's fluky. They're gonna beat Minnesota. Minnesota's probably gonna have shit locked up. Not gonna care. That'll be a dub. I don't know, man. 9, they might land right on 9, like a 9-8 team, 10-7 teams. Has this ever been done on the show before, Ted? I'm going to abort this mission. I'm not paying minus money for them to get to 10 wins because I think 9. I actually think they fucking land right on 9. Actually, pull me back up the odds. Let's do this. Pull me back up the odds. Because, look, they got to play Detroit twice. They got to play. Is Minnesota going to be any good, Ted? J.J. McCarthy, is he starting the quarterbacks there? Yeah, well, you know how those Michigan quarterbacks do. You only named one. There's a lot of Michigan quarterbacks that did well in the NFL. Not Chad Henne. Chad Henne was a Michigan guy, but not John Navarre. Yeah, he played in the NFL. Wasn't good either. Okay, I can name guys. Trent Green. You remember that guy? Trent Green. Elvis Gerbach. I mean, these guys were probably a little before your time, Tedward. The greatest Michigan quarterback that never amounted to shit. Drew Henson. Drew Henson should have never gone and played baseball for the Columbus Clippers. You fuck! Should have gone pro quarterback. Somebody will fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure, I'm 97.32% positive that when Drew Henson graduated high school in the state of Michigan, he had the Michigan high school record for most passing touchdowns in a career, which isn't that crazy for me to get on here and tell you that the top recruited quarterback coming out of the state of Michigan had the record for the most passing touchdowns in the state. That's not crazy, right? That's not land. Again, that record might be broken. This was back when he was graduating high school. But also, Ted, this is what people don't know, is he also had at that time, and maybe still to this day, the Michigan high school state record for most career home runs in a high school career. So he graduated high school owning the state record for most home runs and most passing touchdowns in the state of Michigan. Goes to the University of Michigan. By the way, Tom Brady, that was who his backup was. Remember, Tom Brady was not that big of a deal at Michigan when he was playing there. He beat Alabama in an Orange Bowl in I don't even know a fucking year, 2002 or something, somewhere right around there. Don't quote me, somewhere right around there. Why did we go down this path, Ted? Why did we end up here? Because we were talking Packers, J.J. McCarthy. There we go. That's where we're back. J.J. McCarthy is a fucking winner. He's been a winner everywhere he's gone. Go look at his high school. Go look at college. He wins. Some guys just have that, Ted. I don't know what it is. There isn't a tangible that any analyst out there that could do it. J.J. McCarthy just knows how to fucking win. And he's the most chill fucking dude. I mean, go look at some. I mean, he gets in by the goalpost before the game with this little smiley face and sits there and meditates in the end zone. Chill. In a sport that calls for a lot of aggression, he's just a chill guy. He's just a chill guy. So let's do this. Let's reverse course. On the Packers, I'm going to go, instead of saying taking over, let's look at their under. What's the odds on under 10.5 wins for the Green Bay Packers this year, Ted? Damn. They're going to land on fucking 9. I'm telling you, 9. They might land exactly on 9 wins this year. I think that's how I see it. How about this? I'm going to go on a bold. How many games they play? 17, Ted? They're going to go 9-8. The Green Bay Packers are going to go 9-8. And I want this to be clipped and then edited and put out somewhere in the public to either make me look like a fucking retard or a champion in about 6 months from now. That's okay. Sometimes you just got to pull your dick out and see what happens. No children around, obviously. Around adults. Ted, you're a bartender. You ever had somebody just pull their dick out in the bar sometime? Naked women, no dicks. I think he's lying. No guys ever just whip their dick out in the middle of the bar, either to urinate, jerk off, or just let the bitch breathe a little bit. He's shaking his head no. I just don't think he's too shy. He wouldn't tell us. But naked women, are we talking full naked? Are we talking just a little T? Are we talking a little A? Are we talking full bush? I mean, what are we talking here, Ted? Give me some details here. No bush. They're those full nude. You could see the toilet paper crumbs by her butthole. Okay, yeah, I just lost Ted. He fell out his damn chair. Oh, buddy. I hope you can make the meetup event. I really do. October 4th, Toledo, Ohio. This is the kind of fun. Nobody's had a bad time ever. It's only good times. We give away giveaways, shit, pay-per-view. You come watch a free pay-per-view UFC fight with your Highness, Mr. Yes. If you've not missed Mr. Yes from Brooklyn, New York, he is our, I don't even know what the fuck he does. He puts exotics and soccer plays and weird shit together. He's an artiste. But yeah, he's a good fun time. Maybe I can rope a dope some more of these fucking experts to show up. Like Jody, he only's got to come from Fort Wayne, Indiana to Toledo. That's nothing. Maybe we get Jody, Mr. Proper, to show up. All right, what was the next bet I told you to do? Somebody's wins or losses. Let me scroll down here. By the way, did I tell you I like Sean McVay? I do like Sean McVay. That's the main reason. The main reason we like the Rams. Yeah. Oh, that's where I got confused. I'm sitting here looking at the Rams. I thought we already talked about the Rams. I like the Rams win total too. I like them to win the division and the win total. I like both of them. What was my number? Give me a look around that 9-10 win mark again for the Los Angeles Rams. Pull me up their schedule if you could. Why he does that, I want to go off on a little rant because that's going to take me a minute, I think, about motherfucking ESPN Plus. Their little streaming fucking service. It is the worst fucking thing I've seen since I was flipping through fucking TikTok and Skip Bayless showed up. Because there's nothing worse than getting Skip Bayless in the face for 30 seconds. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Look, you pay 10, 12 bucks a month for an app that fucking logs you out, lags it, fucking video playback fucking error, all this other fucking bullshit. You pay for a fucking UFC fight and it fucking lags. You pay for this, it fucking lags. They want to throw the fucking commercials in here. Fuck you motherfuckers. Can we bring back cable? I never thought I would say this. Can we bring back cable? They've made it more difficult, more expensive to watch just fucking TV. Just fucking TV. You know what we should do, Ted? We should go find her somebody that wants to burn a lot of money and see if they want to create, and I think they tried this with like Fubo TV. Fuck it. We're going to make the We Win, You Win TV. It is sports betting TV for the sports bettors. We should do this. I mean, I'm sure this is not some fucking brilliant, idea that I'm sure a lot of dudes sitting at home jerking each other's dicks, there in Minnesota. Think about this. You got to keep each other warm in the wintertime there. Ice fishing is just code word for something else. I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. Ice fishing is just code word for something else. Ladies, when your man wants to go ice fishing, him and his boy John, he's over here. He's so pissed. Ted, I think, is a huge ice fisherman, and he is going to come through the phone and kick my ass. Good. If I can piss you off, Ted, then I can piss somebody else off, and let's move that fucking needle, baby. Good, because I'm sure somebody right now is like, I'm a big fisherman. I would love that. We would never jerk each other's dicks off in a tent when it's cold to keep warm. Look, fish are attracted to protein. If some semen happen to drop whatever, I'm not. Hey, warm liquids rise to the top. That you're going to have a lot of editing on your hand. If you don't want that to show up, you're going to have to come in here. I think part of it, I like that I can see your face because your reaction gives me inspiration to push the envelope even more. I mean, this guy's a bartender, right? He's a bartender. If you've ever been a bartender, been around a bartender, bartenders have usually heard and seen some shit, right? They've definitely heard some shit. I mean, if you've worked in a bar, especially late night, you've heard some things. The fact that what I'm saying is, I've seen cherry tomatoes not turn this red. I mean, he was red in the face. What was the one? He done fell out of his chair. What was it? Now, the circle jerking in the tent for the ice fishing, he don't like that. That's a different type of rod and reel. All right, moving on. He's got to pull it up. All right, let's go to the schedule here. I realize I stall for him, and then I get off on these tangents that were unnecessary. To all the ice fishermen out there, hey, it's not gay in a three-way. All right, so this is the Los Angeles Rams. Houston's going to be a tough game. Tennessee should win. Philly probably going to lose. Indy should beat them. San Francisco, I like beating them. Baltimore's got to come to them or they got to come on them. Hey, coming to them. East Coast. Jacksonville, winners. Buy me that. Coming off a bye, definitely going to do New Orleans. San Francisco, probably beat them bad bitches twice, but let's say they split. Seattle beats them. Tampa Bay's going to be shit this year. Check me on that one. Tampa Bay win. Carolina win. Arizona win. Detroit loss. Seattle win. Loss. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scroll me up. Maybe. Scroll. 8. No. There it is. 8, 9, 10. I think 11. 11 wins. 11-6. And 11-6 going to win that division. I think the West is down. I think the NFC West is down this year. Ted, pull me back up the odds screen, please. There it is. And 11 wins means we got to be over 10.5. What is over 10.5 wins for the Los Angeles Rams? Plus 135. That I do like. That I like. 11 or more wins for the Rams. They're going to win the division. They're going to win 11 more games. Those should coincide, right? You win 12 games, you win the division. Win 11 games, you win the division. That's not that hard to understand, folks. Why he twiddled these. You know what I want you to do this episode, Ted? we're going to do this because I think somebody had brought this up, is I think either at the end or at certain points of this thing is you should create like a recap, or we should create a recap to go over and highlight all the bets we talked about in the show, so it's a little bit easier for people to go back and get that information. Maybe at the end of the episode, we put up a graphic of all the bets, maybe something like that. I'm trying to make it easier for the people and harder on you. No. All right, what is next on the docket here? We're going to get into player props, right? We're going to do some MVP stuff. We're just getting into some player props. So we mostly talk to teams. Those are kind of divisions I like. Those are kind of some of the win-losses I like. And again, we might do it next week. So I'm just kind of scraping the surface here a little bit. Just a little aerial macro view. We're going to ease into this like it's our first time. Lots of lube. All right, so player MVP. That's what you got pulled up on the screen. And the first guy I like, and we talked about him a little bit here, just because kind of crossing over, is Jared Goff. Where's he out there on the list there? 30-1. Here's why. What other, just look on the screen here, the other names. Basically, it's all quarterbacks, right? Jackson, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Daniels, right? Hurts, Herbert, list goes on and on. It's all quarterbacks. So basically, I just want Jared Goff to be the best quarterback in the league, and he's going to win the award. That's how this shit works. Now, Barkley squeaked in there because I think he had a really good year. I think, I'm going to be crazy, I think the numbers are there. He doesn't win MVP, but maybe like offensive player of the year is Drake London. I think he could have fucking a gajillion. We'll get to that in a second. I think he's going to have a gajillion catches this year. A gajillion. Like, was it Michael Thomas has the record, I think, like 175 or somewhere in that range, or maybe 140. I don't know. Something with a 5 on it. Anyway, at 150, I think Drake London could go for 150 catches this year. I don't know. Crazy, right? Going to play, if he can play all the games, so we said that's 17 games, it is not out of the ordinary for him to average 10 catches a game. I know that sounds stupid, but watch. He's probably going to average like 9.2 receptions a game. 17 games, that gets you to 150 catches. But get Jared Goff. Let's talk about this. I don't want to spend too much time on Jared Goff because it's a little bit of a flyer. But I think with all the weapons he has, his numbers are going to be there. He's not going to throw a lot of picks. I like Detroit again this year. I think Detroit gets even better this year. Improves. We'll get into Detroit more, but I like this new offensive coordinator they got coming in. Jared Goff was top 5 last year in most, if not all, the passing categories that are important. I think they're going to have an easier schedule. You want to throw the Detroit Lions schedule up there? And fuck, man, Detroit just needs some fucking love, man. They need some love in Detroit. Could you imagine fucking the Tigers, the Lions, and the Red Wings all being good at the same time? Oh. You working on that, Teddy? Before I jump on to my next, I got an offensive player of the year prop I like here. There it is. All right, so the Detroit Lions schedule, Green Bay should be a tough game. They're going to wipe the floor with Chicago. Baltimore's kind of tough. Cleveland's easy. Cincinnati, again, let's think about the defenses here. That's what we care about more. So, I mean, Kansas City defense ain't great. Kansas City, Cincinnati, Cleveland. There's a stretch. There's 4 games in a row where he could put up some huge numbers. Cleveland, Cincinnati, KC, and Tampa Bay. Jared Goff could have a field day. Now, Tampa Bay's defense could be good, but they got to come to Detroit, October 20th. Washington, we know that game's going to be a shootout probably. Philly, shootout. Giants, trash. Yeah, there's a lot of... Hey, Ted, Minnesota's defense is going to be any good this year? He says he thinks they're going to be good. With who? I'll tell you who I think is going to be good. Detroit's defense. All right, so let's jump in. This is all about Detroit. I'm fucking dick riding the D hard here. Okay, So Jared Goff to win or the MVP. Offensive Player of the Year to Jamar Gibbs. If you have not watched this guy play, whether it was at Alabama or now in Detroit, you're an idiot. This guy is a special fucking talent. I think he takes more of the number one fucking role in this. John Morton. We're going to talk about this guy for a second. John Morton is the new offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Yes, he is. Now, what do you want to know about John Morton? I got it pulled up right here. But this motherfucker was born in Auburn Hills. That used to be where the Palace, right? The Malice in the Palace, where all those guys went up in the stands and started beating on fans. That was Auburn Hills, folks. That's where this guy's born. You want to know where he went to high school? He went to Avondale. If you're from the area, that's also in Auburn Hills. You know that. Where did he go to college? He went to Western Michigan. Okay, this is a Michigan guy. Okay. He played a little football, but that's not so much. Where did he start his coaching? He started his coaching with Harbaugh, Jim. He then went to New Orleans and got coached and was the offensive play game coordinator and a quarterback and all the bullshit for Sean Payton. And then he goes coaches with Pete Carroll at USC. Learns the ropes from Pete Carroll. We're not going to talk about the Jets. We'll act like that didn't happen. And then was the offensive coordinator for Johnny Gruden. Chucky, baby. Now, the one thing that I see here in common that I know about all them coaches that we just named. Big offensive, big quarterback guys. Very innovative. Like to get their fucking quarterback moving the rock around, involve the fucking weapons. John Morton's that guy. John Morton might be the perfect fucking fit. I'm looking at his profile right here. Might be the perfect fucking fit for Detroit and for this offense. Look for big numbers. Big numbers out of Detroit this year offensively. Jamar Gibbs is, what is he to win Offensive Player of the Year? Is at 950. They won't give it to Barkley again, no matter how good it is. And Jamar Chase, I think, is going to be obviously the prime target. But Burrow going to move that ball around. I don't think Jamar Chase is going to have the huge numbers because of distribution of the ball there in Cincinnati. That he's going to have the numbers to say that. And Bijan Robinson, too much love to fucking London. Like Fergie said, my London bridge is a freaky bitch. She'll open and let you fuck her. Or whatever the line was. I can't remember what that line was, right? ELOUROUS, flying first class. I'm high as fuck. All right, so John Morton, I'm telling you right now, Jamar Gibbs is going to look like he did in college, but souped up on crack cocaine and M&Ms. This guy is going to make this guy look like he's trying to win the fucking Heisman Trophy. You see who's saying that? They're going to utilize Jamar Gibbs in the passing game so much that LaDainian Tomlinson's records might be in jeopardy. I said it. LT was a freak, was great. And by the way, I think 30 for 30 is coming out with a thing on him. Jamar Gibbs. Oh, this is going to rough some people up. Jamar Gibbs has the possibility to end with a better career than LaDainian Tomlinson. Number 21 out of San Diego. The horny frog from TCU. That LT. Not the coked up giant from the 80s. Different LT. LaDainian Tomlinson. He was a freak. And not enough love for LaDainian Tomlinson at TCU, right? Most people weren't even aware of LaDainian Tomlinson until he was in San Diego. Drake London. Let's move it on. Drake London. Now they can't allow me to take the action that I want to bet, which is I want to bet that Drake London leads the NFL in most receptions on the year. I think he can get to 150. I'm not saying that to blow fucking smoke up your ass or any bullshit like that. I think he gets a 150. 146. Whatever. But I bet 365, Ted. I don't know if you're able to pull this up, but I'll tell the people, oh my God, he's already got this guy's a pro. Any wide receiver, any wide receiver to catch, what was the number again? It was like 128 or something, 129. What does it say there on the screen? All right, so we need any wide receiver, any of them. Justin Jeffers, don't care. Drake London, don't care. Jamar Chase, I don't care who it is. Any wide receiver this year, upcoming year, has to have 129 catches or more, and we win this bet. So let's just say 130. There's a lot of high-volume guys in the NFL this year. A lot of high-volume guys. I got a lot of quarterbacks this year. This is even more important. I got a lot of quarterbacks this year that aren't fucking Aaron Rodgers, that aren't fucking Brett Favre, that aren't fucking Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, that aren't going to throw the ball more than 20 fucking yards down the field, that are going to have to throw complete 20, 25, 30 fucking completions in the game to fucking move the rock because they're 7, 8 yards fucking slants. I'm talking about Atlanta and Pendrix. I'm talking about Minnesota and J.J. McCarthy. Even guys like Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, right? Will Levis. I'm naming guys, and Will Levis has got an arm, but I'm saying he don't have a fucking decision-making. I'm naming guys that are going to have to complete a lot of shorter passes to skill guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown should get a lot of catches. The problem is the ball gets moved so well in Detroit. That's why I would never go over on like receptions for any Detroit players on a season, because Goff does distribute that fucking rock pretty good. Montgomery's going to even get a couple catches. Gibbs, Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown. By the way, that's the way I say it. Get over it. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra. Yeah. By the way, you know his real last name is not St. Brown. I mean, documented that way, but his parents were not Saints. They were just Browns. It's true. It's true. Ted lost his shit. They were just Browns. And I don't mean the color of their skin, because one was one and one was the other. I think that dad was the brown, right? Dad was brown and mom changed her name when she got married, right? I think she was white and he was brown and she changed her last name to Brown after they got married. He was like some like fucking old-time world-class bodybuilder, and she was like some hot Scandinavian blonde with big tits. You think I'm joking? Go Google pictures. And literally, he raised his kids to be specimens. All right, we got to move on from this. We got caught way too long in this segment. This is all you need to know. Drake London will be busier. By the way, do you know they got a Chick-fil-A down there in Atlanta in that stadium? If that motherfucker was open on Sunday, that would be the only thing getting more attention in that stadium than Drake London, okay? But it's a Sunday. They put a Chick-fil-A in an NFL stadium for a Sunday. Now it's open other times too, but you get my point. All right, Ted, we got to move this along. Actually, this is a long episode. We're going to get into coaches of the year and some dark horse and things like that. I'm cutting it. We're going to add that to next week. I'm going to cut it. We're going to add it to next week. We're going to get into coaches and then some longer shots. Let's do this. I'm cutting the voicemail too. We had a couple of people call in. I think we'll still do them. We're going to, it's just too long of a show today. We'll say that we'll do it either next week or Thursday. We got Mark G coming back on. We might slide it in there pre-show early on. But call in, leave me another voicemail or so on the UFC this week. Lots of questions from Mark G. UFC with Mark G. I think we're going to do it every week. We had like 200 people show in for the first show. I like that. Ted, I'm making him commit to a lot of things he doesn't want to do. Okay, we got a small chuckle. All right, so let's do this. Let me kind of put a bow on this and leave you on the way. I still got my boy John Morton. I'm telling you, maybe we'll wait till next week. We'll get into maybe some coaching props, some coaching things I think I like. All right, folks, that is going to be our show today. If you are going to start betting the NFL futures, like I highly recommend, remember, this is kind of like your fucking Instagram or your ex's Instagram. Stop stalking. Start locking in. Okay, it's a poor form if you keep going to your ex's social media accounts. Really, the best way is just to block them so you're not even tempted. And look, I'm the kind of guy that every once in a while, an old memory of butt fucking a bitch on the 9th hole at fucking TP Sawgrass at 9:30 at night shooter. I think about what is she up to these days, you know? That girl that fucking took my load on Panavita Beach there. I can't fucking talk. I'm half retarded. Pantra I fucking lived there for 5 years. I can't even fucking say the Panavita Beach. There we go. To the bitch taking my fucking ball sack down at Neptune Beach. By the way, if you don't know, I fucking went to school in Jacksonville, Florida, so I'm going to name all the beaches there in Jacksonville, Florida. Fly her out to the Atlantic coast and fuck her on Atlantic Beach on the A1A. By the way, here's a little retirement thing for those retiring and you want a nice, enjoyable thing. Go get yourself a convertible. Start in northern Florida. Get on the A1A. A beautiful, like, spring, fall day. Not too hot, not too cold. Open that top up and just drive down A1A along the ocean and the beach. Maybe a cigar if that's what you're into, whatever. That's very enjoyable. You know what also is enjoyable is open your sports betting account in January and February and seeing a bunch of extra thousands of dollars in there because you took my advice today and bet these futures. Until next time, guys, I just want you to remember one thing. Get in where you fit in, and we fucking all the bitches. I'm out!
Your wife is out here auto-subscribing to gluten-free dog biscuits. Buys how many Starbucks a week? And what the hell is with this organic birdseed that the Amazon driver keeps dropping off? But you're too much of a bitch to sign up for something that actually makes you money? Sign up now at wewinyouvin.com. Promo code LET'S GO.